Hey, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and in today's lesson, we're going to revisit Drunken Sailor. In a previous lesson, I taught it in the simplest way possible. Well, today, we're going to add some stuff to it to kind of take it up to the next level, because this song's great because you can play it in such a simple and slow way, and it's just 2 chords with really basic strumming, and it's a full song that you can play even if it's like your first or second time trying to play guitar. But today we're going to take this to the next level and add some stuff and speed it up a bit, and it's going to sound pretty cool. Now, before we get started, if you want a chord chart for this one, it's available on my website, completely free, no strings attached. So you'll have something that you can print off and just follow along with. I'll include that in a link down below. Either way, let's get started. Instead of just a 2-chord song, now it's a 3-chord song. We have E minor and D, just like before. And if you're not familiar with the basic shapes, I recommend taking my crash course first to get all the fundamentals. I'll put a link. Once again, it's completely free. So we have our E minor and D chord, and we're gonna add a G chord to it. And the G comes after E minor. So I recommend taking your E minor and then you leave your index down and you can pivot into that G chord by just adding your middle finger to the 3rd fret of the thickest string. And then on the top 2 strings, also at the 3rd fret, your ring and pinky finger just stacked on top of each other. And you can just try that a few times. E minor, G, and then we're gonna go from G to D. So we're gonna pivot off of our ring finger. G, pivoting off our ring into D, that's a great switch, and then back into E minor. Now, the real fun begins when we start counting out how many times to play each chord for. I'm going to write it all out here, and you'll notice there's 2 measures of E minor, 2 measures of D, 2 measures of E minor, and that part's pretty straightforward. A measure, we're just going to play 4 downstrokes per measure as we count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. But then when we get to that ending bit, it's a little bit different. When we play G, we're going to just play it for 2 strums. 1, 2, and then we play 3, 4 on D, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 on E minor. So we're splitting a measure between 2 chords, and you might have to practice that a little bit to get used to that somewhat quick switch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and just isolate that part. Once you're comfortable with it, we can count our way through the entire chord progression, starting from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is the first milestone with this tune, is to just be able to count through the changes just like that. And then we have to add some strumming to this one. So for the majority of it, we'll go like this. That strumming pattern is root, down, miss, up, down, up. So a root, it's where we play the thickest string of the chord. It's still a downstroke, but just like a small one that adds some dynamics to our playing, so it's not so flat. Instead of that, you get, which has a lot more vibe to it, right? And I would work on this by splitting it in half. First going root, down, 3, 4, root, down, 3, 4. Just doing that over and over again. Then counting 1, 2, miss, up, down, up. I'm going to mute the strings. My fingers are tired of playing just one chord the whole time. We're going to mute the strings going 1, 2, miss, up, down, up. 1, 2, miss, up, down, up. So you work on each half of the pattern, and then we put the whole thing together. Root, down, miss, up, down, up. Root, down, miss, up, down, up. And I would do it on muted strings and then try it with an actual chord. And you might be tempted to, speed it up. And And it's great to eventually be able to do, but do not sacrifice accuracy in order to do so. I find sometimes I practice something slow a whole bunch till it's like cemented in me, and then I can just speed it up, no problem. So practicing things slow perfectly, that's going to actually build up that muscle memory. Now we can apply this strumming pattern to our chord progression, but that last measure where we just did 2 strums of G and 2 strums of D, we have to modify things a little bit. For that part, we're just going to play root down on G and then root down on D. So root down, root down. So all in all, going through measure by measure, we have 2 measures at E minor. So we play our strumming pattern 2 times on E minor, then 2 times on D, 2 times on E minor, and then root down, and then 1 time on E minor to finish off the tune. And that's it. That's the entire chord progression. We just play that like a billion times, whatever version of the song you have, whatever lyrics you have. When you run out of lyrics, and then maybe somebody takes a solo, then it's over. Anyways, let's just play through that now together, nice and slow with our pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drunken sailor, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? In the morning, she rises, she rises, Now, the next step would be to play this with a metronome and keep track of how fast you're doing it and speeding it up. A good starting point might be 90, root, down, miss, up, down, up. If that's too fast, you can always go even slower, and you play it like that. And an ending point, you go up like 2 at a time, 92, 94, blah, 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 maybe 180. So that's twice as fast. So we start at 90 at like half as fast, end up at 180. Now don't forget, there's that chord chart completely free on my website. You can always just print that off and have something to go by. If you're a bit newer, I have the previous lesson here where we did it in a simpler way, and you can always try that, master that first, and then add on all these little extras. Don't forget, I have that crash course available if you are newer to guitar. I also have a course, Learn Guitar Once and For All, designed to take you from an absolute beginner, turn you into a confident strummer. So it's especially helpful if you've been struggling with rhythm or making it sound musical. That's really what we focus on a lot, aside from the obvious stuff like learning all the basic chords and everything. And it also comes with access to the Good Guitarist community, which is a private group online on my website with, where you can ask me questions directly and you can interact with all the other people taking my courses. And, it's a really helpful place. People always are posting videos of their progress, and, we talk about it, and it's awesome. So, that's also included with Learn Guitar Once and For All, as well as any of my other courses. I'll put links for all that stuff down below. If you enjoyed learning guitar with me, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.